But for those who want to say ta-ta to tattoos, our health and beauty expert, Sister Deirdre Prussak, may just have the answer. Morning, Deirdre.
Good morning.
Deirdre, what is this new treatment for tattoos?
Well, it's the ruby laser. And at the moment, you can only have this treatment in 3 centres in the world, actually. It was begun in Glasgow in Scotland, and then Boston, USA, and Sydney. And it's a wonderful treatment because in the past, you know, people have gone out after a few drinks or out with the boys and they had themselves tattooed and sort of come the dawn and they've got this thing on them forever. And there's been, it's caused a lot of embarrassment, as you've said, really. I can remember one patient, a mother brought to me, she used to do her own tattoos, you know, and the kids sitting there with elephants and
with
dogs.
Ink.
Yes, and they were really worried about it. And the mother said, of course, she's very artistic, you know. But, I mean, really, and people have had them in the middle of their forehead and then really regret it for the rest of their lives.
So what exactly does this treatment do? Or first of all, talk about...
On the screen, yes, you'll see, this is the ruby laser. Actually, it goes in, the beam is a pulsing beam that goes in and it just affects the pigment, the skin smell and the pigment of the tattoo, and it more or less shatters it. So the body's cleaning up service gets rid of it, rather as the body gets rid of bruises.
And that's actually, that's one hand with the tattoo and that's it after the treatment?
Before
totally
and
gone like that?
Yes.
And
now look at this one. Now this is incredibly good because some of these colours are rather hard to get rid of with any treatment. But the ruby has, there's a before and that's an after on the other side of the screen. That's a terrific job.
That's excellent. Now how long does a treatment like this take?
Well, it depends, of course, how much tattooing you've got there. Probably about 20 minutes up to half an hour for a small one. And then what happens is the skin becomes white. It blanches the skin. And after about another 20 minutes, it sort of fades away.
Like what? This
now, this one, actually, you can see that this isn't a very good result because that's another way of people trying to remove tattoos. That's where they've actually abraded the skin. And I've tried this on patients because knowing people how desperate they are, you get very rough salt or sandpaper and actually rub the skin. It's very hard to do, actually. It's amazing how you've got to rub to get into skin.
Looks like they've rubbed that pretty real red raw.
Well, they haven't rubbed it hard enough. The tattoo's still there. But you can get there's a scarring from too much of that. You see, that's what you call a keloid scarring, hypertrophic, because the skin overgrows then. And they're left with that for life. Does
it hurt having the laser treatment?
The laser treatment, not really. You can have it without an anaesthetic. They tell me it's rather like somebody flicking an elastic band at you. I mean, if you had a tattoo you wanted to get rid of, you wouldn't mind a few elastic band flicks, would you?
No, I most probably wouldn't. I most probably wouldn't. Is it expensive?
It depends. The first half hour of treatment, if it's a large tattoo, they cannot claim. If it goes beyond a half an hour, it works out about $350, and I think they get about $81 something back. But it depends on how desperate people are to get rid of them.
Now, is it easier to sort of take tattoos off certain areas of the body than it is?
There's some areas of the body that are more prone to keloiding or scarring, as you saw, for instance, the chest. You know, people go and get their boyfriend's name tattooed on, and then they change boyfriends and they try and get rid of that, and they could very easily end up with a large red lump. So it's best not to do it in the first place.
Is this treatment...
Or keep the one boyfriend.
Yes. Is this treatment, or have a boyfriend with the same name the second time, just by luck, is this treatment actually effective on all tattoos?
Yes,
even homemade ones?
Yes, homemade are easier, really, than the professional tattoos. But it's also going to be very good in the future for things like pigmentation marks and freckles and things like that. So it's got a good future to it, this particular treatment.
When you were saying earlier that it actually pushes the tattoo back into the system, that doesn't harm...
No, it shatters the pigment and the system then takes it away. The way that if I was to bruise myself and the bruise gradually fades because the blood supply removes the debris, it's the same thing.
And so is this the only treatment, or I guess it's the best treatment available, it's just sort of revolutionised it, really?
It's the best treatment.
Is this been the only treatment that's ever gotten rid of tattoos?
Oh, you've gotten rid of them, but you've got scarring and not as bad as the one we saw, but nevertheless still scarring. I mean, you can have them cut out and grafted, and you can have a CO2 laser, which actually inflicts a burn, and you can rub the salt bit or the sandpaper. People have been trying for years to get rid of them, but this is the treatment that's removing them with hardly a mark.
Now, this is the ruby laser treatment. Now, where's it available from?
Just in Sydney, actually. I think probably if people are interested, they better write in and we'll let them know.
Terrific.
Unless they're going to Glasgow or over to Boston.
Now, just before you go, you may actually be wondering why I'm sitting here with this little black... You most probably can't see it, can you? Oh, just this little black thing on my lap. Well, this little black thing actually belongs to Deirdre, and it does have a face, and it does have 4 legs, and it's her new dog called Sooty, because Deirdre's 2 cats were actually had to be put down on the same day just a little while ago, and you'd had them for many, many years, and you were debating whether to get another animal, and you've come in this morning with this gorgeous little thing who's been so good.
Everybody's been so kind to her.
Oh, look, she's having a wonderful time. So I'll give her back to you now.
Okay.
Nice to introduce her to television this young. She can come on and do ads for pet food and all that as she gets a bit older and make you some money in your old age, Deirdre. That's Sooty, everybody. Isn't she beautiful? So thanks, Sooty, and thanks, Deirdre, for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
She's beautiful. Woof, woof, gorgeous. And if you've got any health or beauty topics you would like Deirdre to tackle, you can write to her, care of Looking Good, Til Ten, Post Office Box 9865 in your capital city.